welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a term you've absolutely heard thrown around in tech circles, the news, and maybe even your own living room, the Internet of Things, or IoT. It's a massive buzzword, right? But here's the hook. Almost everything we think we know about this concept is actually a complete misunderstanding of its true scale. We picture one thing, but the reality? It's an entirely different, massive, invisible machine keeping the whole world running. Let's uncover what's really going on.
Okay, let's set the context and establish exactly what IoT means at its core. We're not just talking about asking your smart speaker to play a song. We're talking about a massive integration of physical objects with electronics, communication, and computer science engineering. By equipping everyday stuff with sensors, processing power, and specialized software, we're giving these objects the ability to exchange data. We're essentially mapping the physical world onto a digital network, letting inanimate objects literally talk and share real-time updates about their environment.
For a little background, what's truly fascinating is that the name itself is actually a misnomer. We call it the Internet of Things, which kind of implies everything is hooked up to the World Wide Web, just like your laptop or phone. But honestly, these devices don't need the public internet at all. All they really require is a network where they're individually addressable. They just need a reliable way to find and talk to each other on a closed loop or private network to keep that data secure.
To understand what led us to this moment, we have to look at the tech evolution. IoT didn't just pop up overnight. It's the result of 4 specific technologies crashing together. First, ubiquitous computing made processing power small and cheap enough to put, well, anywhere. Then, sensors got incredibly advanced at reading the physical world. Embedded systems let us build dedicated computers right into the heart of machines. And finally, machine learning gave us the tools to actually make sense of the absolute tidal wave of data these devices spit out.
Section 1. The Smart Home Illusion versus the Asset Tracking Powerhouse.
So here's the key pivot. When most people hear IoT, they instantly picture consumer gadgets. You know, thermostats that learn your schedule, or a smart fridge that aggressively reminds you you're out of milk. But the reality? Completely different. The vast, overwhelming majority of IoT applications live in the unseen business and industrial sectors. The smart home is literally just the tip of the iceberg. The real powerhouse of the Internet of Things is hidden away in factories, supply chains, and global infrastructure. Why does this matter? Well, look at this. Commercial asset tracking and fleet management make up a massive 22% of the entire global IoT market. Think about that for a second. Nearly a quarter of all IoT applications are dedicated solely to helping businesses monitor their mobile assets. Companies desperately need to know exactly where their vehicles, their cargo, and their shipping containers are at any given millisecond. This single industrial application absolutely dwarfs all those consumer gadgets we play with every day.
Let's do a deep dive and put that industrial scale into perspective. 5.8 million. That's the number of active trailer tracking devices operating globally in the transport and logistics sector by the end of 2024. Just trailers. That is nearly 6 million physical cargo haulers constantly pinging their location, speed, and status over networks, completely unseen, making sure global supply chains actually stay up and running.
Now, as a real-world example, add another 5.3 million to that figure. That's the number of active intermodal container trackers silently moving across the globe at the end of 2024. We're talking about those giant shipping containers moving from ships to trains to trucks. Together, these trackers create a massive interconnected web of physical assets. It's basically a digital circulatory system for global trade, completely invisible to us, yet utterly dependent on IoT.
And it doesn't stop at logistics. This massive scale pushes right into other vital infrastructure. Industrial monitoring uses IoT to predict machine failures before they even happen in giant manufacturing plants. Smart metering lets utilities monitor energy and water consumption across entire cities in real time. And connected healthcare? It's tracking vital medical equipment and patient health continuously. This tech is quietly acting as the backbone of our modern society.
Section 2. The Dark Side: Security, Privacy, and Regulation.
But as an industry counterpoint, we have to talk about the risks. This incredible interconnected nature inherently makes these devices vulnerable. When absolutely everything is connected, a weak link, like, say, a smart thermometer, could theoretically become a backdoor into a highly sensitive network. Because of these severe security and privacy risks, we're seeing governments and industries scrambling. They're racing to develop international standards and regulatory frameworks to lock down this sprawling, invisible network before things get out of hand.
Which brings us to the future outlook and our key takeaway. I want to leave you with this incredibly complex question.
When these physical objects are pinging data wirelessly as they travel across oceans and borders, whose jurisdictional boundary does that data actually belong to? Who enforces the privacy laws? It's a massive regulatory headache. Wireless IoT is actively blurring traditional borders, making enforcement a huge, ongoing challenge in our hyper-connected world. Thanks for tuning into this explainer. I hope it totally changes how you view the invisible network surrounding us every single day.